Everybody, welcome back to the 10-year album. Today's video is going to be about programming drums. Yesterday, I named the second episode Spider March, which was kind of an accident. And by kind of, I mean absolutely an accident. Because yesterday's video was on song number 3, which is not called Spider March. But this song is, so I'm going to name this episode Spider March 2, because I don't give a shit. So I just went ahead and I created 2 mono instrument tracks for the kick and snare drums. These are going to be MIDI drums. And I've created 3 stereo instrument tracks, hi-hat, crash, and ride cymbals. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of prep those tracks right now. When I program MIDI or record guitar, bass, or vocals, or really anything like that, I bring the faders down to about -10 dB to start off, so that I ensure that later down the road, when I start compressing and EQing, there's no distortion, there's no clipping. I don't have an optimal setup for programming drums at the moment. I do not have a drum VST, so what I'm using right now, I'm just using Expand, and I've got, for the kick drum, I've got the kicks menu pulled up. For the snare drum, a snare menu, and then you've got your hi-hats, crashes, and rides. And basically what I do is I go in and I drag and drop MIDI notes, and the Pro Tools stock samples for kick and snare and toms don't sound good, so what I do is I just put Steven Slate drum trigger over top of the Pro Tools samples to give them more of a realistic drum sound. Unfortunately, because I don't have a drum VST, I'm stuck with using Pro Tools stock hi-hat, crash, and ride cymbals, which, you know, usually do the trick in a pinch, but eventually I will get a VST and that will drastically increase the quality of that. So I went ahead and I programmed a simple kind of kick, snare, hi-hat, crash involved drum beat here for the intro part of the song. And I haven't put any Steven Slate trigger samples over it yet, so just to give you guys an example of what it sounds like without Slate, this is what it sounds like. Okay, so I put the Steven Slate samples over top of the drums, and this is what it sounds like with the samples over top. Obviously, that's not what the song is going to sound like when it's fully mixed, but that's what I've roughed in at the time. So basically what I do is I program each section of the song at a time. So as you can see here, I've just finished the first verse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where I've marked the second verse in the song. I'm going to take the first verse drums, copy and paste them where the second verse drums are. So now I've done that, but I do want to mention one other thing. The second verse in this song is unique in that it is half the length of the first verse. So I only was able to take half of the first verse drum beat and place it in where the second verse is, because following that is an interlude, which is a different riff from the verse, so the drums won't necessarily be the same as they are in the verse. So once again, just like the verse, I have the chorus programmed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go to the next chorus and paste it in. So now that we have the second verse pasted in, which is only half the length of the first verse, and the second chorus pasted in, the interlude in between these two need drums. So we're just going to take a listen to that riff. So I think I have a general idea of what I'm going to do for the interlude. So just to give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview of what the interlude sounds like, I'm going to play it with the guitar and drums at the same time. So I programmed the solo riff, and I took note from myself and pasted the chorus riff over to the third chorus. And that chorus is a double chorus, so I doubled up on it. And I did a quick little thing for the outro. So the song has been completed for drums. Now I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like from start to finish with only guitars and drums. Thanks for tuning in to the 10-year album. Bye.